2016 Buick Regal, replaced battery. Here's where the battery compartment is. Here's the batteries underneath. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and grab a hold of this battery thing. And you got a little tab here. Push it in. And then we got another little tab on this side. You got to push that one in also. And you can pull it straight up, and then back. It's got these little notches that got to go into a little stud sticking out. Then you want to disconnect your negative battery first, which is right here. It's a 10 millimeter. Loosen that one up. Also, if it's full of corrosion, you want to go ahead and spray it with some corrosion repellent or stuff. What I use is a lubricant, which is Max 1310 chain cable lube from Napa. Works awesome, because this one was all fuzzy. So I sprayed it on there and it took most of it away. So then I loosened my nut, wiggled my clamp, pulled that off. Come over here, got a little door right here. Lift up on it, got a little notch right here. Push that out and you pull that up. And you can go ahead and loosen up your positive cable. Also, there's another little notch right here. Lift this whole thing up. Got another one over here somewhere. It's over here. Boink. All right. Then, want to go ahead. What you can do is, what I did was I removed this nut, but I held onto this cable real tight so it doesn't twist on me. Because if it twists on you, then it breaks this 300 amp circuit breaker, then you gotta buy this whole thing. So you gotta be careful with that. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and not touch it. Pull this clamp out of here. All right. Then what you want to do is unclip this whole thing from the battery. It just clips onto the battery. What you want to do is stick a screwdriver in here, a flat blade, and push it towards the center, like that. And as you're doing that, then you can go ahead and pull this whole side up. And you do the same thing over here on the other side. And go right here. Stick it in there, lift it up, and you can pull the whole thing up. You gotta do it both sides at the same time and lift the whole thing up. Okay, 2 hands are better than 1. The whole thing is loose. Pretty much. Just gotta get the clamp off. Loosen this nut up, take your clamp off, and snap that with your screwdriver. Then you can bend this whole thing up a little bit, and then you can go ahead and pull your battery up this way and out. And get your new battery after your cables are all clean and go in and drop. All right? Then you can go ahead and put this stuff back on there. I already had this out and put a new battery in it. I don't want to loosen that up again. So you keep following the video, you'll see it. All right, see how that clipped in? Now that's gonna clip in over here, clip in there. That's gonna clip down there. Push that back in. And these, you tighten those back up. Put your cover on. Remember, slots line up with those things. Both in there. I know I already did this once. Alright, before you put your battery back in, you want to make sure your terminals are all clean. This one was good when I took it apart. And this one was really corroded pretty bad. I put some cleaner on it and it ate most of it. So now what I'm going to do is I removed a 10 millimeter bolt that held this wire to there. And I'm going to clean this clamp up. Took the clamp apart, cleaned it up, wire brushed it pretty good, used some brake clean, razor blade. Looks pretty good. What did the most work for me was the Max 1370 chain and cable lube from Napa. That stuff works awesome on battery corrosion. And it's good for door hinges also and other kind of lube necessities. All right, so push this down. And I'll get this ready to go up. And I'll slide the battery in there like that. All right, the battery is in there, tight fit. Just have to hold that up and get it in there the best you can. Then push the battery all the way to the rear so you can get your hold down in there. Clean up your hold down. Put some anti-seize on your bolt. Slip it down there. And line it up with the long extension with a 13. Okay, your hold down is in there. Go ahead and put your battery holder strap on there. And go ahead and clip your upper part of your battery onto there. It should clip right in there. Should go right there. This thing should clip right on over the top of your battery. Clips on, you hear clip on? It clips on because there's a ledge right here on that side of your battery. And this thing clips on the side of it. And if you want to remove it, then you gotta reach in there with like a little screwdriver and pry those little things off the side of the battery. The little clips that hold it down. What I did was get me a screwdriver, stuck it in there. And I go like this, see? Do that on both sides. That side and on. And get this side like this. This side like that. And lift it up like that. And then I'll unsnap that side. Hear it? Okay. Now, got our battery strap in there. And go ahead and put our, after you clean your cables with your wire brush, you can go ahead and put your terminal on there. And what I'll do is I'll tap it down with a hammer a little bit, just to tap it down. And then I'll tighten my nut. Just make sure your nut's loose before you go tapping it down. My cable was tight, I couldn't turn it after I tapped it down. Now I snugged up my nut, put some anti-seize on my little stud over here, because I removed that cable. And then I'm gonna put my nut back on. Now when you're removing this nut in the future, or installing a nut, make sure you hold on to this cable real tight, because that nut will twist a little bit and cause that cable to turn like that, and it will crack your 300 amp circuit breaker, and you don't want to do that. If you want, you can try to remove your battery without disconnecting this, but I took mine off. Okay, I got my nut tight, or I removed my nut with my little impact driver, cordless, and this just snaps down on there like that, clips. All right, and next you want to do is go ahead and put your negative battery cable on. See, it's got a little bit more to go down to the bottom. So we can go ahead and tap that one down a little bit, and then we can snug up our clamp nut. Okay, I tapped my clamp down, and then I tightened my nut, and I made sure my nut drew my bolt all the way up. And then I also double checked my bolt on here. And I used my impact driver on that too, lightly. I don't want to strip them out. I'm just trying to push it and turn it. It doesn't move, so it's good. All right. So the next you need to do is put your cover back on. And watch out when you're putting your battery cover back on. It's got a little slot there and a slot there, and also you got a little channel here, and you got a slot there and a little notch there. So a little stud sticking out that the slots go on, and then that little slot goes down in there, and that one's got a slot too on the other side, like that. So you want to put them on down like this first. Get them down in there so they line up with those little studs down there. There, that one's going. Now this one. This one's on the outside, on the inside now. Get it on the outside, that's lined up. And now I can just push it forward. Line up my little slots over here. Push it down. It's in. Okay? That's how it is. And that's how you do your battery. And be careful. Always negative first, negative last. Thank you.